Yeah, I told you I'll be back. Yeah, I got something to say about friggin' the girl who played Ray, or a lot of people call her Raylo. You know, for her doing all the movies and free movies for Disney, right? You know, for Lucasfilm with Kathleen Kennedy, that practically wrecked her filming career. Like, a lot of people wouldn't want her to do, you know, I don't know, because it's something to do with probably all the brainwashing what Kathleen Kennedy done to her or shit like that. And yeah, like, the character arc for her is absolutely fucking stupid, I should say. Stupid and dumb and idiotic. It's like they're, you know, gave you a peanut butter sandwich and here it is, you know? Here it is. It's no like flavour to it, nothing. You know, it's no flavour to it, you know? It's like they gave you peanut butter sandwich and here it is. That's all you got to get. That's all you're going to get from the Star Wars. Like, just, you know? Like, that movie is kind of wrecked her filming career to do other movies, you know? Like, you know, it's quite weird, you know? You know, how a movie, what kind of like made you famous, and really it didn't, because no one didn't really like the Raylo character in general. No one didn't like her, because it was like, how the fuck she's that talented with the Force for not, you know, not even, it's like, I've been hearing it a lot by a lot of like Geeks Plus Gamers and stuff like that. I'm just going by their knowledge, right? How the hell Raylo can be so gifted with the Force, right, and not having any training done to her? She didn't even, like, all the stuff she was doing, you have to train to do that. Like Luke Skywalker, that wasn't Luke Skywalker's like arc and story. He trained to be what he is. Same with Yoda, same with Anakin, same with Obi-Wan, same with all the Jedis, like Ahsoka Tano and all the other, Ahsoka Tano, Mace Windu. I think Windu's the bad guy or the good guy, the Samuel Jackson guy. I don't know. Well, I lost all the names for all the Jedis, all the Jedi names. But, and even Qui-Gon Jinn, they even have to train to, you know, to learn the ways of the Force. It just seems like she kind of like picked it all up when she was going. And it's kind of weird. Like, where's the fuck is her training? She never trained to do this. You know, she never trained. Like how she was like grabbing the lightsaber in The Force Awakens, you know? You have to have training to pull that. Or it's like she was like training herself. And it doesn't make sense. Like, if the, like, like I don't understand why they kind of like made the story where Luke trained her, right, for a while. And yeah, like, it just seems like it doesn't make no sense. Like, I'm even mind fucked about the Raylo story with her. And especially she's Palpatine's granddaughter. How the fuck that even worked out? Where the hell, like, put it this way, I don't remember in all the bloody Star Wars movies, and especially the Clone Wars too, right? Palpatine never ever mentioned him, like I'm talking about him, he never mentioned he ever had a family, you know? Like, he never had a family, he never had like granddaughters or offsprings and shit like that, like, you know, children. It's like they kind of like made it up when they were going. Like, it's just like, I don't understand it, man. Like, seriously. I seriously don't fucking understand it. Like, the whole The Rise of Skywalker. How the fuck is Reylo Palpatine's daughter? And I bet the guy who was doing Palpatine right was probably scratching his head. What the fuck? Does this really make any sense? Not really. It doesn't really. It doesn't really make that much of a sense. The whole story, it seems like it was like fucking, it's like scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs without ingredients in it. It's like you're not like putting pepper or salt or putting like vegetables in it and cheese and whatever. It's no story flavor. It's like it's no creation. How the fuck is Palpatine and Reylo are related? It's just like, what the fuck? It doesn't make sense. It's like scrambled eggs without no ingredients. It's just like plain and simple. It's like fucking J.J. Abrams. I think J.J. Abrams needs to keep away from Star Wars, man. Before his career for being a director will be tainted by that fucking dumb movie, 2 abominations of the movies. And yeah, it's just like it's a complete fucking fuck show mess for Star Wars. It's a fuck show mess. George Lucas is more of the blame of everything else. He should have gave it to someone who had compassion, And when I was seeing when he was signing off fucking Star Wars to Kathleen Kennedy into Disney, I bet you any money fucking Kathleen Kennedy was licking her lips. Oh man, I'm gonna be filthy fucking rich and I'm gonna fuck this franchise so far up the ass, people are not going to recognize Star Wars no more. And yeah, well, that's what we get, And I'm gonna fuck with George Lucas and say, no, I'm not using your own, supporting your story and what you created and shit like that. I'm just gonna fuck you. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna use your stories. I'm just gonna make my own stories up. Yeah, you know what I fucking mean. You know what I mean. Star Wars is a complete fucking shit show of a mess. It fucking stinks. And it's starting to get old. And I've been saying it for a long time, Star Wars is truly fucking dead, but we still got the old franchise. The prequels, the prequel, the prequels, the prequel trilogy, I should say, sorry. And the original trilogy and the Clone Wars. I believe Clone Wars is a great Star Wars show. But I kind of think it's more better than fucking Mandalorian in ways. No, not in ways. In many good ways. And it just seems like, put it this way, man, it just seems like the main actor who plays as the Mandalore is probably leaving the Mandalorian set. Yeah, it just seems like a possibility, because I believe he got Bully 2 in there too, with Lucasfilms and stuff like that. And I know it's a different director involved, a guy who has compassion. And the director, he played in the part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I think he was the one who kind of kickstart the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And he started off with Iron Man 2, and then it all went off like a big massive firework, like that. And yeah, I bet you any money, man, like he'd probably be saying, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, he's probably saying, what the fuck is happening, you know? Why the hell why I'm losing all my good actors and shit like that, you know? Why? What the fuck, you know? Because it's Kathleen Kennedy and all her stupid political people who work for her. And you know, the thing is, right, that even, especially for him too, he should be like, you know, speaking out about it too. You know, the thing is, right, what I said before in the last video, if you know, well, put it this way, if you were getting bullied and harassed in a fucking place like that, right, what's been happening in Lucasfilms and shit like that, Kennedy Films, I should say, not Lucasfilms, Kennedy Films, why the fuck you work there anyway? And why you don't expose it? Because if you expose it, right, if you expose a company, you'll be sacked. Well, put it this way, that makes you more of a hypocrite. Because you know why? Because you're not exposing these people. Because you rather work for a company who bullies people, right, and, you know, be quiet about it. It makes you more of a hypocrite. You know, because the whole company with Lucasfilms is a big, massive hypocrite shit show, and it's a dumpster fire. You know, can we just please just say Star Wars is truly dead in the way it is? Like, let's give it a fucking tombstone and say, hey, rest in peace, Star Wars. You done us well, but when Kathleen Kennedy took you over and when George Lucas sold you to a bitch, right? You practically are dead. Like, I can't even make it all up. I can't make shit up, man, in my head right now. But that's what it is. That's what fucking Star Wars is. It's a dead show. It's dead. It's fucking dead. It should have finished on the last... No. Shit, sorry. Not The Last Jedi. Fucking... You know, not that fucking movie. It should have finished with the fucking Return of the Jedi. And that's it. They should have just left it as that. Like, wipe your hands with it and keep making money off, like, from the movies. And just leave it as that. And keep making toys and shit like that, you know, and making video games, you know. But George Lucas was a sellout, and he sold his baby and his brand to a fucking political bitch, and that's his fault too for doing that. He's a sellout. George Lucas is a sellout, 100%. He's a sellout. He was the one who killed Star Wars in the first place. He's not going to get he's not going to get a good points out of me, because he's half the blame. Because really he is. The fat man is half of the reason why Star Wars is dead in its fucking tracks. Why it's not moving forward. Why Kathleen Kennedy didn't use his original story design from George Lucas. You know, like, when you do look at it from a far distance away, and like look at it from a distance, right? It's mostly fucking George Lucas' fault, because he's a big fat sellout, and he want money, and he's fucking, like, he's a greedy fat fuck. Like, seriously, that's what he is. He sold his own brand. Well, just to say it really bluntly, he is a sellout. He sold his he sold his whole brand to the mouse. A fucking mouse. Disney. You know, he's just a fat fucking greedy nerd. A fat greedy nerd sellout. And he sold it to a political bitch, right? And that political bitch wrecked his whole franchise. When you look at it, it is his fault. But I think George Lucas kind of like gave the gun to fucking Kathleen Kennedy, right? He gave the gun to Kathleen Kennedy, right, to put fucking Star Wars out of its fucking misery. But in the certain sense of ways, it's kind of like and she still, like, more or less, she still made movies, but it's not the same. It's not the same Star Wars, in a way. She did kill Star Wars, in a way, but she still kept making movies about it. You know, like Rogue One, Solo, and a lot of other movies. It's like, it seems like George Lucas gave the gun to Kathleen Kennedy to put Star Wars out of misery. Because, well, that's what George Lucas is. He's just a big fat sellout. He more or less killed his own franchise. And, you know, the more I look at George Lucas, how he talks about his movie Star Wars, man, he doesn't really care about, he just seems like he just looks like a fat, like a fat cunt. Like a cunt. You know? An ignorant, no, not an ignorant cunt. He just looks like an asshole. The way how I see him doing, like, interviews and stuff like that. You know, he just, like, all his interviews I see him do, he never cracks a fucking smile. Like he just seems like he's a big cunt. Like you know, like he's just an angry person. He doesn't give a shit. You know. Like, it's just, he just, more or less what I'm trying to say, like, even when he was creating, like, the prequel series, I think, around about that time, like, it just seems like he became sad what he was doing. He's sick of hearing about people about Star Wars. And you know, the thing is, right, I've seen a lot of videos, on him when people getting autographs from him, you know, and he kind of like brushes them away, you know, like an asshole he is. He's an asshole of a director. Like, you know, the thing is, right, I think the only kind of like nice, decent director I actually know, right, who kind of like has, you know, pride in his movies, I think it's he played in Good and the Bad and the Ugly, and he played it all in the spaghetti western movies. Oh yeah, Clint Eastwood. Ow, fuck! Bit of tree bark hit my hand. Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood had a lot of great, you know, compassion for all the movies he made. He had good compassion for the movies he made. You know? You know, like, he made a lot of good movies, you know, like I watched of his, you know? Like every time you see him in an interview or something like that, he's always smiling, and I've seen people asking autographs from him, he never brushes them away. It's what you call a professional director and / actor. He loves his fans, and you know, the thing is about George Lucas, I don't think he really loves us. You know, I think he's just a big fat greedy pig. I think he had compassion back in the original trilogy, but when he got to the prequel series, that's where I think he kind of like lost his compassion for the whole Star Wars thing and stuff like that, you know? He lost his compassion. And it really sucks. Not sucks, but, you know, it's just the way how he is. It's just in his nature to act like a big fat asshole all the time, you know? Bradley sold his own brand out to Disney, and look what happened, man. You know, look what happened, George Lucas. It is your fault, but you know, I think I am the only person who kind of like thinks of this on YouTube, right? It is George Lucas's fault, you know. It is George Lucas's fault. You know, he should have gave it to a person with more compassion for Star Wars and, you know, and this Kathleen Kennedy bitch. And who the hell is she? Like still, I said that in the other video. Who the hell is she? I know she was an assistant for Steven Spielberg and George Lucas back in the days. You know, who the hell is she? Who the hell is she, you know? And I heard stories she used to work for all the female actors. Who the hell is she? She's practically nothing in a way, you know? She's nothing. She was just an assistant, that's it, for movies. She didn't really done that practically much. Well, as far as I know of her, back in the days, you know, back in the days in the 1990s and the 80s. Yeah. And it's just sad how Star Wars has become like look what it's become. It's like a horse with a broken leg. You have to put it out of its misery and say, hey, rest in peace, horsey, you know? You know, especially if the horse's leg can't be fixed. Or you can cut it off, but it would be left with, you know, 3 legs. It'll be a tripod of a horse. It's like a sick dog with cancer or something. And you don't want it to make it feel pain no more. Same like that, you have to put the dog out of its misery. You know, don't make it suffer. It seems like Kathleen Kennedy, and I say the same with George Lucas too. George Lucas is half the blame too. He's more of the blame too. It just seems like Star Wars is, the brand itself is in pain so much it needs to be put out of its misery. And us, the fans ourselves, we need to say it's dead completely. We need to say it's dead completely, because really, you know, Star Wars as a franchise itself, it's dead. It's a dead franchise. It's not going to come back from the grave. It's dead. It's completely dead. It's nothing for it no more. It's nothing. We can't gain from Star Wars no more. It's nothing with it no more. Well, we still got the prequel series, like the prequels and the trilogy series, and the Clone Wars. Is that all enough for us? You know, I think that's enough for us. You know, I think as a fan myself of Star Wars, to me, Star Wars is truly dead. It's dead. It's a dead franchise. It needs to be put out of its misery like a horse with a broken leg or a dog who has cancer and it's being put through pain. It needs to be put out of its misery, because really, Star Wars is truly dead. And I'm like sick of hearing people talking about Star Wars, like complaining about a fucking movie, a fucking franchise. It's been dead for like 2 to 3 to 4 years. Like, people need to shut up about it. Like, if you stop talking about something, right, it'll go away. It truly does sometimes, you know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if I'll bet you any money, if you stop talking about Star Wars by this day or into the future, Star Wars the word Star Wars will be a distant memory. You know, because really, there's nothing to gain from Star Wars now. We should not be talking about this, because really, it's been a dead franchise since George Lucas gave it up, and since Kathleen Kennedy destroyed it and given it its poison and stuff like that. And yeah, It's a dead brand. And we should not be going on like this about a stupid dead brand. And that's my, thing about Star Wars. I'm just saying, as a fan myself, Star Wars is truly dead. See it, bye.